Peace, Spears and Mike's hip hop culture, knowledge in the streets. I'm L1. That's why Slice.
For
Heltah
sure.
Skeltah Nocturnal 30 years. It came out June 16th, I think. June 16th or June 18th, 2020, 1996. So here we are in 2026 at the 30-year anniversary of Nocturnal.
Mm.
You you remember hearing this one early when it dropped?
hmm I forgot who had the cassette tape. My man, somebody on my block. Oh, um, my man, Tremaine Emery, aka Denim Tears. He
Yeah,
definitely,
I think you said
yeah,
that. I think you
he definitely
mentioned
had
that.
it. Me and him had all the official like tapes and cassettes and CDs, man. Like we would go like wherever to cop maybe Hot Wax on the Ave or wherever.
That's
But
that spot.
I
Told you
definitely
that's where I got my RZA at. My Prince.
Birth of a
What's
Prince.
the third
Yeah,
album?
Birth
Birth of a
of a Prince.
Prince.
Yeah.
Autographed.
Oh,
Autographed. Yep.
dope, dope. Um, yeah, yeah, definitely heard it when it dropped. Um, thought it was dope. Love Boot Camp. Um, I like Magnum Force better, but obviously, but definitely
That's a
a
better
solid.
album.
Yeah, and they stepped they rap. Well, Sean definitely was rapping on Magnum Force, but
Yeah.
um
Yeah. He went to
definitely
another
yeah,
level.
yeah. I definitely loved Nocturnal. Yeah, yeah. And it aged pretty well too, even though I joked with you the other day about Rock saying wiggity.
The Wiggy.
and yeah,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we were past the DOS effects by that time. But
Mhm.
yeah,
Right. Yeah. Way
Nocturnal
past
was
it.
dope. Yeah, Nocturnal was dope though. Nocturnal was
What's some of
dope.
your favorite joints on there if you think about
Um
like
But well, obviously, I told you like my favorite song is Operation Lockdown. And we were discussing
Mhm.
off camera about E Swift producing it from the Alcoholics,
Mhm.
and it sounds like
Mhm.
a
Great producer.
alcohol. Yeah, it sounds like an Alcoholics beat. Like when you listen to it, I'm like, yo, I can hear Catastrophe on there and um
Yep.
J Ro. Like
J Row.
yeah, you can hear them on that. But that's my joint. And the video, of course, you know what I'm saying? That was my joint,
It was
yo.
funny hearing Sean Price talk like that, right? Like
Yeah,
with the
yeah,
Spanish
yeah,
accent,
yeah, yeah,
and
yeah,
he was taking digs. He was taking digs at people. He was taking little shots. Like
yeah.
he was, talking, rapping about nothing. Cause like that was kind of like the theme where later
Mhm,
on you would see that they were getting that Big on the
mhm,
Storm for
mhm,
OGC's album, but
mhm,
rapping about the Versace. Right. So
mhm,
who was he
mhm.
mentioning? He
Yeah.
kind of is getting that bit. We was talking about that a little while ago.
Mhm,
Was he getting that
mhm.
Big? But officially they were
Possibly.
getting that Big on the Storm. But
Yeah, on the storm, right?
it's kind of like right. It's kind of
Like,
like he
like.
opened up that
Mhm,
right there.
mhm. Yeah, nah. Yeah,
Because there
yeah,
was a
yeah.
lot of rap
Peace.
about that. There was a lot
Mhm,
of shiny,
mhm,
braggadocious raps, and
mhm.
most of us like the gutter shit. Like
Right, right.
I
And
didn't
they
care.
from
None of
Brown, and
us.
P from Brownsville. They from
Right. Yeah,
Brownsville.
they from
Like,
Brown. Yeah, they both from
yeah,
Brownsville.
they both
So
from Brownsville,
you know what I'm
right?
saying?
Yeah. I think the only person from not from Brownsville is Tech, right?
Tech. Yeah, Tech. And I think Buck did live in Brownsville, but he also lived in Crown
And
Heights. I
Crown
think he
Heights,
lived in
right,
Coney
right,
Island also.
right, 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 right,
So,
right.
but
But most of
yeah,
them is
Tech is really
Brownsville.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah. But and
yeah,
Rusty Jooks from Crown Heights too.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, Jooks from
yeah.
Crown Heights. But yeah.
Right.
Nah, it's funny that you mentioned that. You know what I'm saying? That he definitely was kind of like getting that big, and then when the storm came out, they definitely let loose on no freaky. They got that big. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they did. They did. and it kind of made sense, especially with the connection that Boot Camp had. Buck and Tupac was close, and there was
Hmm.
rumors that Boot Camp was going to be kind of, I think, a part of Death Row East, and
Hmm.
they
And
had the
that One
song
Nation
"Military
album.
Minds,"
Hmm.
One
The One
Nation
Nation
album
joint was
that they were
supposed to
working
drop.
on
Yeah,
together.
yeah, yeah.
Right, so it all made sense. I was riding with Boot Camp. Um, you know, they could easily be my first or second favorite group in hip hop, depending on what type of mood I'm in. But
Hmm.
when I bought Nocturnal on the release date, before the album came out, I was mentioning to Watt off camera earlier, there was a single by the Fab Five, and the Fab Five is Heltah Skeltah with OGC for those that don't know. So it's the five of them, being Rock and Sean Price, and then Louisville Slugger, Top Dog, and Starang Wonder. They formed the Fab Five. They had a single called Blah, and they had a video for it. You could check it on YouTube, Blah by Fab Five. And they were gonna come out with an album. And then they came out with Le Fleur, Eshkoshka, and that was a hit record. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you
yeah.
you heard it on Hot 97 quite a bit. I know I did heard it on Hot 97 quite a bit, which was
Nope.
our lifeline at the time to hear new joints. And then the video was getting wild, like top 10 Rap City play. You know, pretty sure it went up to number one at
Fully,
some point. So it was
fully.
getting a lot of buzz, and it actually did chart. I think it was 35th on Billboard. I looked it up a couple days ago, looking at some facts. So I guess it was a commercial success to a degree for it charted. I don't know what the sales were. I don't think it went gold, but it did well as far as the
You know
billboards
what's
go.
crazy? You know what's crazy about you mentioned like sales and billboards. We didn't care about that until Bad Boy.
Mm. Right.
We really didn't care. Like
Didn't
and
matter.
that's why like yeah, like we didn't care about we just cared about what was dope. Didn't
Hmm.
care if he sold like like when Bad Boy came, and then when Jay-Z, like all that talking about these numbers, and like I went
Hmm.
platinum, like and then it made the fan care about
Hmm.
sales. I don't care. Like we shouldn't care about sales. We should care
We're
about
not the label. We're not the
right, right,
business.
right. Like and like I don't know these people personally either. So like
We ain't getting a check based on that
right,
success.
right, right. So like we never cared about hit records. I know I didn't. I know I never cared about a hit. Like if a song happened to be a hit, cool, it's fine. You know what I'm saying? But I like the music itself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like I like to listen to good music. And that's um it's subjective to what I like, not what everybody
Hmm.
else likes. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, you can't
Hmm.
be like music is subjective, but it went platinum, so that's why it's hot. Nah, think it's hot because I think it's hot, not because it went platinum, not because it went gold. And at that time, like we didn't really care about sales.
Right.
Even
Oh, it's
especially
true.
in hip hop, we didn't care about it.
Yep.
Like, and I don't even think I cared about it because I listened to a lot of Prince, a lot of MJ, a lot of Sade. I listen to Stephanie Mills. I listen to Carlos Santana, Marley, whoever, whatever I feel like, that's what I listen to. You know what I'm saying? Like
Hmm.
you might catch me listening to classical music like Andrea Bocelli or something one day, like just whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't be
Hmm.
like, yo, let me play his platinum album. Let me play their
Right.
platinum album. Or let me play
Right.
hits only. Like, nah.
Right. Right.
You know
Right.
what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right. We
Because
could
it's like
listen to
what I want to
something.
listen to,
Right. We could listen
So
to like they used to criticize Nas over that, like, oh, this album
Yeah,
didn't
he
go,
don't got no hit record.
platinum.
Right,
This album
right,
didn't
right.
go right. Oh, there's no hits on it or whatever. But he
Yeah,
had
because of the
bangers on it,
beats.
like
Yeah, yeah.
he had bangers on it. He had street anthems on it, and that's what made it enjoyable. Me personally, like I'll tell you, to me, more than sales mattered. I would say I was more interested in who got 5 mics, 4 mics. That actually
Right.
was more of a like measuring stick for an album's success. When I would see, did he
Sales,
get 5 mics? You know?
right. Sales should matter to the label and to the artist, not to the
Hmm.
fan.
Right.
That
Because the
that shouldn't
label
be a
is judging him.
right.
Right.
And you as the artist are getting paid like, well, you getting whatever you negotiated or whatever, however many people
Right.
get paid before you
Right.
get
Right.
paid or whatever. But we shouldn't, us as consumers, we shouldn't be arguing about who sold more. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That should never be the argument, especially in hip hop.
Right.
It never be an argument.
Right.
Because dude, like this
Well, let's put it. Mhm.
genre, this culture, whatever you want to say it is, didn't start off with people getting paid. This was
Right.
supposed to be a fad. You know what I'm saying? It was supposed to be
Right.
a fad. Like when did we start caring about what another man sold or what another artist made vice to somebody else? You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
You know, it's
Think
funny, the film industry is almost the opposite of the music industry because some of the most obscure films that come out, they be indie and they'll win, film of the year, like Oscar
mm-hmm,
awards. So it's like
mm-hmm.
the ones that are least popular actually become the ones with the biggest accolades. So the film industry and the music industry is completely different. And it's weird because like at the end of the day, I never heard somebody watch a movie and say, "Oh, but what did the opening week do? It was a good movie, but
Sometimes they
what did
do
the
that.
opening
Sometimes
week
they do
do?"
that though.
Yeah, you've heard it,
Sometimes
heard
people do do
yeah.
it. Yeah, I've heard people argue. Like, I'm not going to see it because it didn't do well at the box office. So you're gonna miss out
That's crazy.
on. Like,
Right.
I've heard
See it
people
because you
say
want to
it.
see it.
I've heard, yeah, like I've heard people say that. Like not often, but I've heard that. Like, yo, it didn't do
Right. Oh,
good first week,
it
so I'm not
bombed.
right. It
It
bombed,
bombed.
right? So I'm not
Right.
going to see it. Like, so you
Right.
let
That's
other
true.
people's opinion or a sale, like they'll like. Remember, we grew up Siskel and Ebert. Never cared what they
Right. Two
thought.
thumbs up, two thumbs
Yeah,
down,
I
whatever.
never
Right.
cared, but
Right.
that's why Men on Film, the parody, that was a parody of Siskel and Ebert. You know what I'm saying?
On
That
and
was a
live in color.
parody.
Right.
Right, right. Like
Hated
who
it.
right, right. So who cares? I used to like,
Crazy.
yo, I remember when Siskel and Ebert used to come on, I think he used to come on Saturdays, like in the evening or something, on Fox 5, I think.
I
I
used to
think
watch it. I used to
yeah.
watch it.
And I used to be
Used to
like, yo,
watch it.
like, what do they know about film?
Right.
And I
Right.
forgot when I was a kid, I saw them like criticize a movie that I actually liked. And I'm like, nah, you bugging. Like, I like that movie. I
Word.
forgot what movie it was, but I'm like, man, like, I remember one
Mhm.
time they was like champion in a Woody Allen movie. I'm like, this weirdo. I'm like, he's a weirdo. Like, ain't nobody
Right.
jacking Woody Allen. Like, Woody
Right.
Allen was crazy. Like,
That's
his
a
movies
fact.
was corny.
Other than
Even the
this,
movies he was in, he was a cornball. He was weird. And
right,
come to find out, he was weird in real life. You know what I'm saying?
right. Reveal later on, right.
Yeah, yeah. Like he was a weirdo, and you like giving this dude like praise, and like he was trash. But
Mhm.
you know, like I think we shouldn't look at sales. But anyway, back to Nocturnal before we get off subject.
Mhm.
Um Nocturnal was dope. The Floor the Fly, Therapy was another one of my faves too. I think that was produced
They
by
had a
Baby
video for
Paul.
that.
Yeah, definitely.
Yep.
I think that was dope. And you mentioned
Wasn't
some.
Angie Martinez in that video too? That was a little talk.
I
Like,
think so. Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah,
she was
yeah,
the
yeah.
nurse. She was
Yeah,
the
yeah,
nurse.
yeah, yeah. She was one of the nurses. Yes. And that was dope. She was in a lot of videos in the '90s too, before she decided to start rapping or whatever. But she was in a lot of joints.
Mhm.
A lot of
long before
cameos.
Lady Marmalade or whatever that was,
Right,
right?
right, yeah, yeah, whatever. And Big Keys with Jay
Well,
Z.
they used to hype her up on the radio. Oh, you the most beautiful woman on radio. They used to
Yeah,
always
yeah,
talk.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
Angie Martinez was, she was pretty, but nothing too crazy. But one when I picked up Nocturnal, because I bought The Shining on the release date, I bought Black Moon Enter the Stage on the release date. So I continued with Heltah Skeltah because they introduced us, Black Moon introduced us to Heltah Skeltah on Session at the Dog Hill, which is a
Mm-hmm.
posse cut on Enter the Stage. And hearing Rock and Steel and Tech and OGC, and I'm like, they they sounded like a Wu-Tang to me. I'm like, this is like 8 guys, they all going in. And I'm like, yo, I gotta hear about them. And so when Nocturnal came out, I picked it up. The videos were out and I was impressed. And there's a couple joints. I wanna go down the track list and speak a little bit about it. The track list, right? I'll just go down real quick, like the tracks. Um, you got the intro and Starang Wonders talking
One.
about it. Then you got the
Mm-hmm.
second track, Let the Brains Blow, which I like. I like that joint. That was produced by Baby Paul. Looks like Baby Paul did a good amount of work here, and he's from the Beat Miners, but I guess they broke up at some point. Understand, that's my
Mm-hmm.
joint too. Baby Paul did that. Who That, that's produced by Buckshot. Um, Sean Price, that's a song that he introduced Illinois on. Illinois
Mm-hmm.
is pretty dope
Mm-hmm.
too. That
Ill
was
name
produced
too.
by Shalik. Yeah, Illinois is a real ill name. You should have been from Chicago with that name, but that name is still crazy ill though. Um, especially the way he spelled it and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of my favorite joints on here: Clans, Posses, Crews, and Clicks.
That
Uh,
song is dope.
and that was before. Yeah, that joint I still listen to that a lot. That's produced by Evil D. Evil D is on the mix. Come on, kick it. Um, then you got Therapy, and that was produced by Baby Paul again. We mentioned that earlier. Soldiers Gone Psycho. That's one of my favorite joints on the album too. I play that a lot. Actually, that was kind of like a rad out song. It's got a lot of energy. That's produced by Baby Paul. Um, The Square, Triple R. That's produced by it's produced by Supreme, and I'm assuming that's got to be Supreme. It says Louis Supreme. I don't know if that's Supreme from the Representatives,
On the
who are
representative.
also Boot
Mm-hmm.
Camp.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thinking it is. You know what I'm saying? That's actually my favorite song on there because the song is kind of sinister, and they went off. Rock went off. Supreme went off. Little Rock went off, and that
Mm-hmm.
was their introduction on to
Yeah.
to to the world on that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Which I bought that album too, Angels of Death.
Angels of
You know what I'm
Death,
saying?
right?
Which is pretty
Yep.
good too.
Mm-hmm.
So then they got the Wiggy. That's produced by Mr. Walt. Um, they had a skit, Getting Ass. I don't remember that too much. Le Fleur, Le Fly, Shkoshka, again produced by Baby Paul. Baby Paul did a lot of work on here.
Mm-hmm.
Proud, which is dope. That was with Louisville Slugger on there. That's produced by Mr. Walt. Great Unknown, I like that joint too. That's produced by a brother named Shalik. And then Operation Lockdown, which we mentioned, was produced by E Sweat from the Alcoholics. Um, I think overall, man, it was a very good album. Like you said earlier, I'll agree with that. The fact that it did age very well. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? I think it doesn't sound dated. It doesn't sound old school. The production it held up 30 years later. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? It has energy. I think it has, Therapy and Le Fleur Le Fly had like, not necessarily street joints. It had like a little bit of commercial appeal too. Therapy got
Mm-hmm.
a lot of buzz too.
No, I did.
You
It
know what I'm
did.
saying? I used
It
to hear
sure
little
did.
girls in high school singing, and I
Mm-hmm.
need a doctor to give me so. Like it had a
Mm-hmm.
buzz. You know what I'm saying?
And that video
And that
stayed
was an
on
opportunity.
Rap City.
It did.
Stayed
It
on.
did. You know
And
what I'm
like I
saying?
said, like we used to hear Boot Camp on Hot 97 all the time.
Yeah.
Flex was
Before they got
definitely
banned,
playing
right?
them. Yep, before they got banned, like Wu Tang. Yep, yep,
Right.
yep. Used to hear them all
Two
the
two of the
time.
greatest New York hip hop, movements in hip hop, banned
Mm-hmm.
from Hot 97. It's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
But Nocturnal, I thought the album cover was dope too. Both of them
Yep.
upside down.
Yep. With the eyes glowing. Yep. Red and
Right,
green.
one in red, one in green.
Mm-hmm.
I always appreciated that, you know what I'm saying? Like, especially like a year later becoming Zulu, like looking at the album cover, still looking at them like, yo, this shit is all BG'd up. It's black background. They're in the darkness with the red and the
Mm-hmm.
green on.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But we know they not Zulu. They Decepticons. Peace to all the Deceps. You know, I think it was good because it just continued like, you know how you and I were collecting Wu Tang, whatever was being released from Wu Tang.
Mm-hmm.
I think many people did the same thing with Boot Camp. You know, yo, Black Moon drop an album, you get that. Then you get the Cocoa Brother, Smith and Wesson. Then you get the Heltah Skeltah. You get the
Mm-hmm.
OGC. Then you go get whatever. Then the whole Boot Camp album comes out.
Yep.
For the people.
Mm-hmm.
So you kind of get sucked into that particular group, and they had wild talent just coming out. All these posse cuts were introducing you to new dudes down the line, from Magnum Force introducing you to
MFC.
little hardcore,
Yeah.
all the MFC
Man,
dudes. You know what I'm saying? Doc
manslaughter.
Holliday,
Doc Holliday.
right? Right. And then on
And
Magnum Force, we ultimately get we start to get, well, Cocoa Brothers had the Black Trump. So we start
right.
to see the Wu Tang and the Boot Camp
Right.
collaborations
Collabs,
take
right.
off, right? And that continued on Magnum
Or
Force
Magnum
also,
Force,
because
yeah, where
Method
they had
Man is on
meth.
that,
Yep. 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 And then we see the
but
pop, we see the Pac and the Pac collab too on Magnum Force with the Outlaws.
right,
But they had the
right.
Outlaw, and they had a
Yeah,
song with Dog
yeah.
Pound too. Had a song with Dog Pound.
hmm And around this time is when they were featured on the New Jersey Drive soundtrack. I don't know if it was volume one or two, but Heads
Mm-hmm.
Already was out.
That's already. Yep. Yep.
Right,
Yep.
so New Jersey Drive was a pretty
That's Heads
popular
Already
movie
Part
that got a
One,
lot
right?
of buzz.
That's Heads
That's
Already
Heads
Part
Already
One.
Part One, because
Right. Right.
Part
Right.
Two is the
Is
video
on.
that they dropped
Right. Right.
on For the People,
For the people.
the
Right.
debut,
Right. For
Boot
the
Camp
people.
album,
Yep. Yep. Yep.
which I enjoyed also, which I
Mm-hmm.
think they started to step out with other producers and have different sounds. Same thing with Magnum Force. I think that was done outside of the beat miners as well.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Which I like to see people step out from their in-house producers. It's a
Mm-hmm.
different sound, a different sometimes it's like a way of maturing musically, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
My favorite
but
song on that is "The Gang's All Here." That's my
yeah,
joint.
that's incredible.
That's
That's probably one of the longest posse cuts in hip hop. I don't It's longer than the points, I think. It's longer than the extended points.
you think?
I gotta look at the minutes,
That
the
song is
times.
like 10 minutes. Might Yeah, I think it's at
What, Gangs All Here?
yeah, I think it might be 10, close to 11 minutes. Because everybody rapped. Everybody. 5 footers on
Yeah, I
there.
got a Five
Um,
footers on there too,
yeah,
right?
5 footers on there. Jukes is
Doc
on there.
Holliday,
Doc Holliday's on there.
right, right,
Supreme is on there. Little Rock is on there.
right, yeah,
Rock,
yeah,
Buck,
everybody,
Rusty Jukes.
right,
Everybody's on
right.
everybody. The
Steel
whole
Tech,
Steel
Louisville,
Tech,
Top Dog, right?
Louisville, Top
Everybody.
Dog. Yep, everybody's on that joint. That's one
That
of my
shit was
favorite
crazy.
joints.
Gangs on
Yeah,
here is
nah.
crazy.
Yeah, gangs were
It don't get the respect. We got to do an episode where we talk about some of the greatest posse cuts and some sleeper posse cuts
yeah,
that people don't
yeah,
give the respect. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
Because there's probably people that love hip hop that never heard the points, never heard, you know what I'm saying,
Gangs
like
all here.
classic records,
Yeah,
right? Classic records. And I think to me that was a way of really showing and proving that you really a strong, like gifted MC, like getting
right.
on a posse cut with your peers and getting busy.
Mm-hmm.
And we got to see that. We got to see that with Camp Wu and Wu Camp
Boot camp.
when they
Yep.
reversed those songs. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Where it was mad members of Wu and Boot Camp doing songs together. And
Mm-hmm.
that to me was like, a moment for me to my two favorite groups together.
Right. Right.
I'm still waiting for that verses. I'm still waiting for an album together. They blew it. Old Dirty not here. Sean Price not here.
Yeah, that would
Make
have
this
been
album
crazy
ready.
with
I'm gonna
them
say it
two
a
on there.
thousand times. Drew
That would have
High,
been
call
crazy with
RZA
them.
right now.
or
Drew High,
and do
call RZA right
something,
now
do
and
like a
make this
compilation or
shit happen.
something. Yeah,
Whatever
yeah,
it
nah,
is.
nah, that would be crazy. Sean Price and Dirty on the
So
song.
right, yeah, it was supposed to happen. Um, but some of this Nocturnal album was recorded at D&D Studios, which man, too bad that they don't have a documentary. Or do they have a documentary on
On
D&D
D&D, I
Studios? If
don't know.
not, they
They
should.
should though. They should. Yeah, they should,
It's a
man.
legendary thing.
Yeah. They
Legendary
said you could
music was
walk
coming
in
out them
and you could
walls.
see anybody going in or coming out of there. You know what I'm saying? Any
Hmm.
given day. You know what I mean? That's crazy,
Now
man.
Cam and Old Dirty, they didn't remember that wasn't at D&D though, right? I heard
No,
that story
that
where
I yeah, I don't know where that was. Where Dirty just walked in the session and was like, "Yo, I'm recording."
right.
He's like, "I'm on
Word.
this."
That's crazy.
That was the funniest
Yeah, that's
story, yo. He
crazy.
was and Cam at the
Piece of
end.
dirt,
Cam
my
was
gut.
like, "Yo," or Cam was like, "Yo, you want me to get on anything you got going on?" He was like, "Nah," because remember, I think Dirty. Nah, he wasn't on the run for that. He was on the run on Ghetto Superstar. He was in like the wrong state or
Right.
something, I think, and he ended up on Ghetto
Hmm.
Superstar. That's a crazy story too. How he ended up on that. Like, you know what I'm
Word.
saying. But speaking of Sean Price, man, like a lot of people, I know you think Rock definitely was the better MC on Nocturnal. Then like
Hmm.
you give Sean his props on being the better MC on Magnum Force. But just like
Hmm.
to highlight Rock, like yo, when he started dropping those little mixtapes, like Don't Say Ish to Sean, like when he got with
Hmm.
Aguilar and he was doing
Hmm.
Telemundo and all of that stuff. And
Hmm.
then they got
Hmm.
the deal with Echo and did that 3 album
Hmm.
drop with
Hmm.
Peck and Steel, Buckshot and
Hmm.
Ninth Wonder, and then Monkey Bars, yo.
Yeah. Yeah. The artwork,
Man,
crazy.
man,
And it all connected. It was that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Sean came
Yo,
into his own. He
yeah,
catapulted.
yeah. He definitely always knew he was nice, but it was crazy. And you know what's funny? How um you say we heard them on Enter the Stage. There was a group out of Coney Island. They were Wu-Tang affiliated. They were called the Gunslingers. One of the members, Trig Nam, ended up being a member of another Coney Island Wu affiliated group. They were signed to Protect Connect Records. Mm, they called MMO, Money Making Outlaws or Money Making Operation. But when they were the Gunslingers, him and another dude, Big something, forgot his name.
Oh, you put
They
me
got
on to that song,
yeah,
right? I think you put me
yeah,
on to
and
it.
Ruck is on it. Ruck is on it,
Right.
and this is like 1995. Ruck is
Hmm.
on the song, and he held his own. I think the album is called All We Got, and it's two dudes. It's a Trigger, aka Trig Nom, and they got like shotguns in their hand. They wearing jean suits. They from Coney Island. I think Trig Nom's name is like Fatty Baby Fresh now or whatever, and he be rapping still, but he was with Wu from the beginning, but he's from the Brooklyn side of Wu. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And Sean was on there. And like if you dig like on YouTube or whatever, you can find the song. It's dope. Then I remember Heltah Skeltah had a song with Daddy Rose, another Wu-Tang affiliate from the
Hmm.
Black Rose Cartel. They got a song called Not in
Yeah.
Here. Recommend that song.
Hmm.
Like but all three of them went crazy. All three of them went crazy. And
Yeah.
Daddy Rose, for those who don't know, his name was he changed his name to El Shabar. He was on the song "I'm Back" with Az. So if you
Right.
want to reference that, mm.
And featured on what, View from Masada? Was it View from Masada
He was
or
on View
was
from.
it
Yep. He was on
Priesthood?
Mac. No,
Which one
he
was
was
it?
on
I
he was
can't
on both.
remember.
He was on Priesthood too, I
He was
think.
on both?
Yeah, he was
Nice.
yeah he was on Maccabean Revolt, and he was on
Hmm.
whatever
And he
song that
locked
was
up,
on
right?
Priesthood. Yeah, I think he got life. I think he got life.
Wow.
For
Wow.
whatever he did or didn't do, whatever.
Talented
Yeah,
brothers, man.
yeah,
Like
yeah. He was
him,
nice.
Killer Sin.
Brooklyn. Another Brooklyn rapper. I think Killer Sin coming home soon. Been seeing
That's
on
what's up.
Instagram. He be if you go on his Instagram page, he's very active on it. He's
I
very
don't
active
got
about
IG, but
around the time his brother was sick. Around the time Power was sick and falling ill, he definitely was voicing his like what he was going through, because that's his brother and
mm,
he's not on
right,
he's not in the feet on land, as they say. His
right,
feet not on land to be there with his brother in his final days. So I know he was going
right.
through it. Like, he expressed that. But I think Sin is coming home soon. But nah, Heltah Skeltah, man, legendary. Nocturnal is a legendary album for us. Like I said, forget what the sales say, what the charts say. Like, we was definitely bumping that in New York City. Definitely. We
Yeah.
definitely
Yo, you
was.
know what I was thinking too? You know what I was thinking? What about some of their features? They was doing work with quite a few other artists at the time
Oh
too.
yeah,
Didn't they have a joint with Cannabis at the time? Was it Raz Kaz and Cannabis? Or was
they
it
might have. No, no, no.
it was
They had
somebody.
Crooked Eye,
It was
Crooked
called
Eye.
Uniform.
Oh, that was on the remember Uniform. That was
Uniform, it was
that was
called.
on. I remember that song. You're right. It was Cannabis and Razzcast, and I think that was on the Us
Yeah,
versus All compilation with Universal. I think that was
right.
a Universal had a compilation out, and it was called Us versus All.
Check
And
that
I think
joint out.
that's
If
the
you ain't
song.
hear
Yeah,
it,
yeah. I think
YouTube
that's
it.
remember that. And they was on.
Fire.
Remember they was on Sway and Tech with
Yep.
a song with Crooked Eye. It's Crooked Eye
Hmm.
and Planet Asia and Rock and Rock.
I believe
It's called.
so.
I think it's called
Right.
Underground Tactics. Underground
Right.
Tactics.
That's the name of it.
That,
Yeah, that's
yeah,
fire.
Underground
What
Tactics.
about the
That's a
joint they
dope
had
song.
with Doo-Wop? That was crazy too.
I
Remember the
remember
joint
that
with
too. Yep,
Doo-Wop they
yep. The
had?
joint with Doo Wop. Yep, and they was on numerous Tony Touch joints.
A lot. Yeah,
Numerous.
well, Tony, what was it? Tony Touch 50, the 50th
Yeah, the
mixtape.
50.
That
Yep.
was a who's who of people rapping together. Like
They
that was
they were
crazy. That was
they were on both professionals, weren't they? Wasn't Boot Camp on both professionals?
yeah, I believe so. That first
Yeah,
song on the Professional, that was one of my favorite joints on
yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
They
Nah, they
they they
went
went off
crazy.
on that shit. That beat
They
was
did.
crazy
Hmm.
too.
Hmm.
That and the Nas joint on Professional,
Well,
crazy.
Nas had two joints. Nas was on professional one, and you talking about Queens Ninjas?
Queens,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
Queens
yeah, yeah.
Ninjas, yeah, yeah, yeah. That's my joint.
Before remember Nature's song was fire too on that. Right
Nature
before
Fun,
Nas,
yeah,
right before.
yeah,
No, it was
yeah.
after
That's a
Nas.
fact.
Yeah,
I
Nature
don't
had the
remember the
exclusive
placement,
joint.
but I remember the song.
Yeah, yeah,
Yep,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Nah, the first professional was fire. Second one was dope too.
yeah.
Second one was
Everybody's
dope
on
too.
it.
Yeah, yeah,
Everybody's
yeah.
on
That's
it.
that's
You know
Fantastic
what I'm
Four.
saying?
Fantastic Four
Yeah,
with Pun, Cannabis,
legendary.
Nori, and Cam. And then the second one is
Right.
Fantastic Four Part Two was fire because it got the locks and
Cam was
Cam.
fire then.
Yeah, he
Cam was
was.
fire. His wordplay was
Uh,
crazy. You can't
yeah,
tell
he
me he
was.
wasn't a lyricist. I don't give a
Yeah,
damn what anybody says. Cam was
yeah,
a damn
yeah. Nah,
lyricist.
nah. Cam was not. I mean, I think
His wordplay was crazy.
when you gotta when you around elite MCs, you can't just be you
Right.
just can't put whatever down. Like even when he was on when on sports, drugs, and entertainment, he got Prodigy on losing weight. He can't just
Mhm.
say whatever on with Prodigy.
Right.
Just like when he
Right.
was on but isn't he on Tri? No, he's not on Triborough. Um,
Ban- Banned from TV? No, right?
not he is on Banned from TV. He's on Banned from TV.
He is.
That too,
He's on Banned
Banned
from
from
TV,
TV.
right?
But he's on the song.
Right.
What's it called, man? I think it's something that having to do with Triborough, but it's not Triborough KRS One. It's not that one. It's the one
Bro,
with
that's
it's
Five Boroughs of Death. That's
Five
Five
Boroughs of
Boroughs
Death.
of
Right,
Death. I
right. Five
think
Boroughs of
the
Death.
with Killer
It's
Priest, Cam,
right, right. Yeah, all right.
Rev
So Cam is
Run.
on that joint.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Redman's
Yeah.
on it. And Buckshot's on it too. But he
Buckshot.
there's a
Hmm.
song on Tragedy's album with Cam, RZA, Killer Shot, and Traj. It's fire.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow,
I
Killer
forgot the name of the
Shot.
song. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow, Killer Shot was nice.
Yeah, he was nice too. Right. Yeah.
Killer
Nah,
Piece of the Killer
Cam,
Kids.
word,
Time to
word,
Shine, 96 Phenomenon. Those are
word.
my
They still
joints.
rhyming too. They still rhyming. Mr.
That's dope.
Chalice, Mr. Chalice and Ruck, aka Mr. QB. Them dudes are still rhyming. And I think one of them that got on late, Foul Monday. Monday was a part of the Killer
Hmm.
Kids.
Hmm.
They still rapping. But yeah, Cam, if you look at Cam when he's on with real lyricists, he never slack. He never slack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's
He
proven it. He's proven
yeah,
it.
yeah, nah, he
You
get
know,
busy.
like when you like this MC shit, right? Like, a famous video that we've probably seen. I can't recall it too much, but it's where they're at the table, right? Isn't it Cannabis, Big Pun, DMX, Most Def,
Mhm,
and
mhm,
is
mhm,
it
mhm.
who else is at the table? Who else was at the table? And I'm not sure
I
all
think
of them
Mike
rap. 'Cause
Geronimo. I think Mike Geronimo
was
was
it
there
Mike
too.
Geronimo?
He
And I
might have
don't even
been
know why. Somebody, I'm missing somebody. Was it somebody from the Fugees? Was it this brother that passed away? Was it
John Forte. It
the
might have
Fuji
been
affiliate? Wasn't he there?
John
I
Forte.
think John
Might have been. He
Forte
might
was
have
there, if
been.
I'm
He might
not
have been.
mistaken.
He might
And
have
I
been.
don't know how that came about, but to think about that time, man, like
John Forte was
if
nice
you were
too.
gonna open your mouth, yeah, he was. If you were gonna open your mouth, you had to say something crazy, like, cause
Oh yeah,
you got
yeah.
you got greats at the
You sitting
table,
in front
like,
of
you know what I'm
Pun.
saying?
You sitting in front of Cannabis when he was at his when dudes could
When
front
he
on
was
Cannabis
like,
all they want.
nah,
Dudes
you
was
front if you
listening. Dudes
want.
was yeah. When we was in high school and they had that
What?
Cannabis Nori DMX mix. Those were the three for New York at a time.
Whoa,
When
you ain't
Nori went
lying.
solo, when Capone was locked up, and Nori came out with Nore, and when Darkest Hell
Mm-hmm.
is Hot, when Get At Me Dog was the single, and Cannabis had these freestyles. He had that freestyle over the 97 mentality beat when he was on Clue. What did he say? I speak in frequencies. Dogs I have trouble hearing. When he was on that,
Whoa.
dudes was um dudes was rocking with Cannabis. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
nah,
like
he
like
was
don't
on
front
another
on him.
level.
Yeah.
You know
I
what's
was just listening to
crazy? We
Beats
were
from the
buying,
East and my
right.
crew. And
Yeah.
my crew, because he was on my
Shout out to
crew.
A Plus from Hempstead. He went off on
Whoa.
that too.
He went off on my crew
That's
too.
one of
Cannabis and
that's
my
a
crew.
yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
it's
the El
crazy
Posse
because I
cut
know
too.
you were
Beats from the
buying
East.
super. Yeah, they all went off. Redman, wow, they all went off.
Even Cheeks. Cheeks went
That's
off
a
too.
that was a wild time, right? Because we buying mad albums. Like I know you was, I was. Like we was
Hmm.
buying mad albums, and then you had to go buy the mixtapes too. Like
Right.
usually your man will pass it off to you. You have that in circulation because no one cared. After you heard the exclusives, you give it to your man. You start passing them around. But I was
Hmm.
spending money on mixtapes too. No
Nah,
lie.
that's a fact.
Cause sometimes you couldn't hear a song if you didn't have the mixtape. It wasn't on the radio. There was no
Yo,
video for it. It was exclusive to Ron G or Clue or
you
Kid
know what's
Capri or
crazy?
whoever had it.
The first John Blaze, the first version, not the album version, John Blaze on Don Cartagena.
Hmm.
The original beat was
Hmm.
on a Clue tape. When Nas had his,
Word.
well, before, remember when Cuban was like, Nas changed his verse cause of pun? That verse, you can look it up on YouTube.
I heard
Just
that. I
type
heard
in
the
John
story,
Blaze
but
original.
I don't.
But Nas's original verse, I remember the Clue tape because when I heard Don Cartagena, I'm
So
like,
it's
yo,
different.
the beat is different and Nas changed his verse. I knew that immediately. Like, I didn't have to hear the story from Cuban
Mm.
Link years later, like decades later, because I
Hmm.
remember the song, because I remember the Clue tape and dudes on the block. Every time somebody got a Clue tape, whether they burned it, whether whether they actually like copied it from somebody, recorded it off of somebody, you know what I'm saying,
Right,
or
right,
bought the
right.
physical clue tape, we
Yeah.
heard it. So we heard that original joint. And Nas, he was talking about Firm Fiasco and blah, 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 blah. And the beat was slow. I'm not saying I like that original beat better. I don't know. It's up to, I gotta listen to both again, like back to
Who
back.
produced the album joint? I'm trying to think.
I don't
I'm
remember,
trying to
but
think who
I
produced
don't even
that
remember who
joint.
produced
That's a
this
dope.
one. Now that's a dope song. It's a dope beat and it's a dope song. But Nas definitely changed his verse. He definitely did.
I mean,
And the song is out there.
mhm.
So like you could go on YouTube and type in John Blaze original and you'll hear the
You know, that's news. That's news to me.
you can hear
That's
the
news
remember
to
how
me. I'm gonna
Pooh used
check that
to
out.
remember
Yeah, yeah,
when it
yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
exclusive, he used to have
The
the
Google laugh, right?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
right.
You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? So I remember
right,
the tape vividly. I mean, there's so many joints that we done heard original, and then you
right.
hear like the home version, or you hear a different version, and be like, yo, what happened to so and so? Like on the real by Screwball. Um,
Mm.
Nas was on the
They
original.
from the bridge,
Then
right?
yeah,
Screwball. They from the
right. And
bridge.
then they replaced Nas's verse. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they took him off because of the beef with Cormega.
Maybe you think
You know what I'm
Columbia
saying?
pulled it, or
They
you
might
think
that
that's
might
a
have been a thing too. Yeah,
possibility?
that might have been. And then remember, Nas redid it years later. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Nas redid it years later. So I don't know. But I do remember um, it was Nas, Makazi, who passed away, Mega. You know what I'm saying? On the real. And then on the album version, it's Makazi, Mega, and I think Havoc. I think they replaced it with I think Havoc's on the album version. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
one thing is I wanted to get back to Nocturnal about was um so in Nocturnal came out 96, then Magnum Force came out 98. That's where you really see Sean Price. We mentioned Sean Price really stepped up and
Mhm.
ascended to, the great that we know him to be. And then there was a 10-year gap between Magnum Force and Dirt, the Incredible Rap Team, which is a dope name for an album too, which
Mhm.
is weird. Why do you think there was a 10-year gap between I know Rock left boot camp for a while in between that, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah,
like,
but he
cause
was
he
back.
wasn't on the second boot camp.
Yeah, but
Right. He
he
was
was
back
back
for
by
mad
then. But
years. S-
I think Sean's solo career
His
took
solo
off.
success.
Yeah, I think
Right.
like, you know what I'm saying? And he was
But
just in
but
a
but
groove.
Monkey Bars didn't come out to '05. So like,
But
you know what I'm
remember,
saying? That's
I don't
his
know if you
debut.
remember, Sean Price was working. Remember, they fell into like, remember when he had the song on Monkey Bars, "Broke as Rapper," and he was talking about the $5 royalty checks and everything. Like he was
Mm-hmm.
working construction job. I remember seeing him. Like Doggy Diamonds interviewed him, in his apartment in Brownsville. You
Mm-hmm.
know what I'm saying? Like,
Mm-hmm.
and he's talking, and this is an old interview. This is like, it's either after Monkey Bars or during it. And he was like, yo, I had to work construction jobs because I had a kid. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't
Yeah.
do nothing. Like, like nobody's,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not getting royalty checks and, all this stuff. So maybe that was it. Cause like you hear a lot of stories. A lot of people they start off rapping as something like as a passion. And once they get signed, I think like obviously they want to make money from it. And then like a lot of industry tricks and a lot of stuff discourages them. And they just be like, yo, it ain't doing nothing. Y'all jerk me. Not to say that Sean got jerked or whatever, but like, yo, people get discouraged. And then some people like, yo, I'm from the street and I can make money faster not rapping. So maybe that's what took so long. But I do know he was saying that he definitely was working construction jobs to get his OSHA card. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
Like, and I think he might have got locked up. a couple of those years, like a couple of those
You
years
know,
where you
Rock
didn't
got
hear
locked
from
up
them. Yeah, I
also.
remember
Rock
Rock
got
got
locked
locked
up
up.
also.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
Rock might have did like a little skid bit or something, if I'm not mistaken. You know what I mean? But
Yeah, they should have had because Smith and Wesson got a more vast catalog than Heltah Skeltah do with just
yeah,
3 albums. You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
Smith and Wesson kind of stayed consistent throughout it. Even Black Moon, right? Like there's a lot of gaps between Enter the Stage, War Zone,
hmm,
Full Eclipse, and everything else that they release is like wild years. But you know, I'm sure it ain't easy. Plus, right, I think one thing to consider too is although there's a gap between Magnum Force and Dirt, a 10-year gap, there's still wild material coming out from from
hmm,
OGC, from Black Moon, from Boot Camp, second, third album, all the other artists that they were probably dealing with, representatives, so on and so
hmm.
forth.
And they had the
So
Duck Down
they was
collab compilation. They had the
right,
Duck
Duck
Down
Down
compilation.
Presents, Duck Down
Yeah,
Presents. Yeah, so they were active on, I guess, other
yeah.
projects and other things.
And when Rock
Um,
came home, he
but
was doing stuff too. He had those mixtapes with the Rock
yeah, yeah,
brothers and all of
definitely.
that stuff.
Yeah, 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 hell yeah. Yeah, all of that was dope, man. I appreciate the album Nocturnal. I hope to see maybe Rockness speak on it a little bit. I actually inboxed him on Facebook asking him if he's going to talk about it. You know what I'm saying? I was
Mhm.
hoping maybe he respond and we can get him on here. That would be dope
Right,
because I got a lot of questions because we can't ask Sean Price these questions. You know what I'm saying?
right, right, right.
So Rock is the only, Rock probably could speak on it. I'm sure Buck could or Drew Ha, and I hope they all get a chance to speak on Nocturnal and give us a little insight on, some of the stories behind it. But it's a very good album, like we said, aged very well, and if you didn't hear this, throw the Nocturnal by Heltah Skeltah, follow it up with Magnum Force, which is even better. And Dirt was really strong in my opinion too.
I like Dirt. Hmm.
Uh, but yeah, man, peace to Duck Down, everybody, man, from Drew Ha to Buckshot to Rock, the family of Sean Price, you know what I'm saying? Bernadette Price. She's staying active with the hip hop
Or,
rap thing.
or,
And I think it's dope.
and
I hope
we
she
need to find
continues to
out.
find success.
Word. I like her album. I like the album.
Yeah, we spoke about it. We reviewed it. We
Yeah,
reviewed it on
yeah,
one of the
yeah.
episodes.
I need to know where Little Hardcore is. So if anybody in the comments that listens knows where Little
Word.
Hardcore from Magnum Force is, from the
Word.
Magnum
Where
Force
he at?
album, yeah, like he was on
Word.
one song and
Somebody
never heard
drop
from
it in
him
the
again,
comments.
yo.
He's on a
Never
couple,
heard
because
from
he's
him.
on OGC's album also.
Oh, right, 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 right. Yeah, yeah.
He's on that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, where's he at? Where's Doc Holliday? I know Doc Holliday was locked up for a while.
Yo, he was
Um,
nice.
yeah, he was.
He was
For real.
nice.
I
He was
seem like
nice.
this dude was kind of like Redman a little bit. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? Word, but yeah, man, peace to Nocturnal, man. 30th anniversary, man. Check it out. Thank
All
you for
right.
tuning in to Spears and Mics. I'm L1 and that's why I slice, man. Salute. Peace and love.
Peace.